Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we'll be comparing the new Toyota Tacoma to the new Chevy Colorado. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Toyota here in Murray and the Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with both of the vehicles. I'll include a link to both their websites in the description down below so you can check what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering the Tacoma is a turbocharged 2.4-liter four-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 23 on the highway, with power outputs being 278 horsepower and then 317 pound-feet of torque. Powering the Colorado is a turbocharged 2.7-liter four-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 23 on the highway, with power outputs being 310 horsepower and then 430 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the Tacoma, this one has the Tier D off-road package and is finished in bright in-your-face orange. I think it looks really cool. You guys can see here with the new headlight design. Notice we do have fog lights with this package. And then being a Tier D off-road, we do have skid plate protection underneath as well. Now with the Colorado, this also has an off-road package. It's the Z71 package. And you can see, just like the Tacoma, you've got fog lights, you've got the normal headlight setup, we've got tow hooks here at the bottom, and then we do have an air dam on this one, but yeah, let me know which front end you like more. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 265, 70, 17 in the front and over in the rear. You can see here with the wheels, you got the silver there on the outside and then Tier D there in the center. And you got these big fender flares, you can see the Tacoma badge as well. And then, taking a look at the side profile, I do want to mention that we've got a coil suspension system in the back, so no leaf springs with the Tacoma. Now with the Colorado, 265, 65, 18 in the front and over in the rear, and pretty cool wheel design with all of the silver. It's just like Tacoma, it's got all-terrain tires. Not as much happening here on the side, not as busy I suppose. Now with the Colorado, it uses traditional leaf springs there on the back. Now popping to the bed of the Colorado, you guys can see we've got a little ruler here on the back. We've got some storage here. It is drainable. And then decent sized bed for a mid-sized pickup truck. We also have a power outlet here in the rear as well. And with the tailgate itself, it's easy to lift up. Now with the Tacoma, we have a composite bed, so it's a nice feature to have. We've got some outlet action underneath this whole situation. When I say outlet, it's like a USB port and everything. There's another outlet over here. We still have LED lights and all that. And yeah, big bed. I think this Tacoma has a slightly longer bed than this Colorado with how it's set up, so not the best comparison, I suppose, with beds, but tailgate's lighter on the Tacoma, funny enough. And then look at the whole design here on the back. You guys can see, again, with the new taillight design, parking sensors, all of that. And then compare that to the Colorado. You got the bumper steps and everything. A little bit different looks. So let me know if you like the back in the Tacoma more, or if you like the Colorado more. Now legroom back here is actually pretty dang solid. We've got some vents here in the center with some USB ports there. And then you can see with the seats, I like this trim. Look at that kind of camo print down the center. It's like vinyl on the outside and then cloth on the center. It's interesting. The window is manual for the operation. And then there's the door panel, so you can see the design there. And then headroom, it's pretty good. Now in the back of the Tacoma, it feels like the foot space is a little bit tighter than in the Colorado. But here's some cup holders, got charging boards down below. You can see the cloth seats in this, so just full cloth in the Tacoma. And then headroom's pretty similar. And let's start her up. Ooh. See what the payload is in the Colorado. So 1,515 pounds. Solid closing sound. Again, you got the same material use. It's kind of like a, I don't know if it's actually vinyl, but it's kind of like a vinyl type material. It's very interesting. Here's the steering wheel. So got parental controls in the front for the center, your cruise control. You got a little stalk there for the turn signal and windshield wiper and all of that. Full digital gauge cluster, and if you press the one button on the steering wheel, it'll change what the gauge cluster shows. It's kind of a cool little party trick there. And then we do have a 360 camera system with this, so you can see out of a bunch of different angles with the Colorado. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, I've gone over the system before. It's another newer Chevys as well, so responds quickly, easy to use, has a shortcut bar. We've got our dual zone climate controls just below that. Heated seats with this as well. The whole system is pretty easy to use. All of our window controls here, auto stop, start. You can see the lane departure, and that's for an auxiliary item. A little charging pad. And then we do have our drive mode select, also drive line. So it has an advanced four-wheel drive system and 2-speed transfer case. Shifter here, plus minus, you can shift the gears yourself. Some more storage, cup holders, and then center console, like this whole setup. And that's cool across the dash. Yeah, there you go. And then nothing up top. And Tacoma. Ooh. So payload on this, 1,200 pounds. And then it's just soft touch here, actually, interestingly enough. It says TRD there. It's pretty cool. Get a bunch of controls here. Notice you can have 3 auxiliary items. Now here's the steering wheel. It's like straight out of the new Tundra. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it looks pretty cool. Nice trim. Got your controls in the front, like adaptive cruise control and all that. And just like the Colorado, we've got a digital gauge cluster here in the center. And then just a traditional backup camera with this. No 360 on this one. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, I think it's easy to use just like the Colorado. Somewhat similar setup, right? Shortcut bar and pretty quick to respond. It's massive. It's absolutely massive. And then down below, single zone climate, heated seats, heated steering wheel. Got a wireless phone charging pad here. You can see the parking brake there, auto hold, and then your drive line select. This also happens to have your drive mode select and your multi-terrain select, tow haul, and your crawl control all built into one kind of little dial system. It's pretty cool. TRD shifter. Got some cup holders, and then center console. And then notice it says Tacoma there. And then this actually is a power sliding window. And we've got a sunroof. Now when it comes to pricing, this is pretty interesting. So that sticker's for just over $46,000, and that sticker's for just over $51,000. So although the equipment's relatively similar between them, there's about a $5,000 price difference. Let's drive them. Gotta love 360 camera systems, am I right, folks? Am I right? So, Z71 Colorado first. I know some people might say that I should have picked a ZR2 because of the pricing. Like if you do a base ZR2, pretty similar in price to that. But my response to that is, good luck finding a ZR2 that's not sold. Yeah, they're gone just like that. And as I say that, there is a trail boss. Yeah, I was gonna say Colorado big tires. Is that a ZR2? Nope, trail boss. Trail boss. So first off, the seats are a little bit firmer. So there's that. It'll be interesting to see the seat difference between the trucks. But you know, I think I could deal with a slightly firmer seat for $5 less. You know what I'm saying? Good torque. Yeah, tons of torque. Tons and tons of torque. So that's good. Ride quality smooth. I like how the new Colorado drives. I've driven it quite extensively, and it's an impressive little pickup truck with the power, with the ride, just all the performance metrics, and it's got so much payload. The American truck market is so weird to me because, you know, the Ford Maverick is like unibody vehicle, has more payload than a half ton. This has as much payload as a lot of half tons and more, right? It's weird to me. And then like that Tacoma has pretty much almost as much payload as a Tundra. So it's just yeah, it's an interesting situation. So yeah, with the Colorado, again, we're not gonna do a super long drive because I've driven both of these extensively. Just kind of want to talk about them back to back. Pretty comfortable. Seats are a little bit firmer. Tons and tons of power. Power is really good on this truck. And it just drives well. It just drives well overall. I don't really have any complaints with the Colorado. And this Z71 package, not my personal preferred package, but I feel like it was the most comparable to that Tacoma, closest in price. And then, you know, it's kind of like the off-road package and somewhat similar interior features for the most part. So let's pop into the Tacoma. And Tacoma TRD off-road. We'll say right off the bat, the seats are a bit more comfortable. So Toyota does win in the seat department. I like the steering wheel too. I think the steering wheel is pretty neat. I feel, maybe it's just where the seat is. I almost feel lower to the ground, but I think it could just be the seat placement too. Interesting with the drive so far. I guess I could have maybe used a Trail Boss for this comparison, now that I'm thinking about it. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't know if I mentioned the walker on the Tacoma also has a automatic rear locking differential. Not automatic, manual. You do feel the torque difference. It's pretty substantial too. It's not just like, oh, a little bit less here. No, it is pretty substantial with the torque difference. The Chevy definitely feels punchier. This is a little bit smoother though. Like the coil suspension does help out. So you do have that going for you with the Tacoma. Yeah, there's a difference. There is a difference. So again, and like I said, I've driven this before, so I'm pretty familiar with the new Tacoma. I had one for a week. It's pretty interesting. I think the big selling point on the Toyota at this point is going to be the brand reputation, right? People, you know, they trust Toyota's reliability more than they trust Chevy's reliability. And so I think that's because $5,000, I don't care who you are, it's a lot of money. It's a big chunk of change, and you know, it's a big chunk of change to get a very, you know, when you're looking at things purely from an equipment standpoint, you're basically getting a similarly packaged truck, but you're paying a $5,000 premium. So why do you pay that premium? Toyota badge, right? So let me know if you would go Tacoma or if you would go Colorado.